A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man doesn't become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A quote by Aristotle. According to Aristotle, there are 5 elements that make a story a tragedy, many of which come from the Greek language. Hamartia, peripeteia, anagnorisis, hubris, and fate. But what do these really mean? Let's go find out what the people think.
Hello.
Oh, hi, sir. Do you mind if I do a couple interview questions with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Aristotle uses 5 characteristics to define a tragic hero. Could you define hubris for me?
Excessive pride.
He also uses another one called fate. Do you mind explaining to me what fate means?
Development of events beyond a person's control.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, sir. May I interview you for a second?
Yes, you may.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the meanings to Aristotle's characteristics of a tragic hero. Can you answer me what peripeteia means?
Peripeteia. It means a turning point of a character.
Hi, sir. May I ask you a few interview questions?
Yes, you may.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what the characteristics of Aristotle's point of view of a tragic hero are. What does hamartia mean?
Hamartia. Yes, hamartia means a personal error or tragic downfall.
Thanks, sir.
You are welcome.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
May I ask you a few interview questions?
you may.
I'm trying to figure out what anagnorisis means. It's one of Aristotle's characteristics of a tragic hero. Do you know the meaning?
Yes, I do. It means make a critical discovery.
Thanks, sir.
You are welcome.
Shakespeare and F. Scott Fitzgerald both relate to Aristotle's point of view of the characteristics of a tragic hero. Shakespeare's writing in the tragedy of Macbeth touch on Aristotle's point of view of a tragic hero through the actions of the main character Macbeth. In The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald relates the main character, Gatsby, to Aristotle's characteristics as well.
One of Aristotle's characteristics of a tragic hero is hubris. Hubris means excessive pride and despite some downfall of a noble hero. In William Shakespeare's tragedy Macbeth, a large amount of hubris is possessed by Macbeth himself. Macbeth acts on hubris until it destroys him and everyone around him. He's known for his great confidence, and he will stop at nothing to serve his ambitions. Throughout the play, Macbeth never backs down on anything, which leads us to his downfall at the end when he gets killed by Duncan. On the other hand, in The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald shows hubris within J. Gatsby. J. Gatsby is different from Macbeth because he has humility. Gatsby possesses hubris because he has fancied himself to be above the class he was born into, with his presumption ultimately leads to his downfall. J. Gatsby shows so much pride throughout the novel that it kills him in the end. Aristotle describes anagnorisis as a discovery or recognition that the reversal was brought about by the hero's own actions. Anagnorisis occurs in Shakespeare's play when Macbeth finally realizes that the witches have led him on to his doom. The clearest moment of this is at the final scene when Macbeth warns Macbeth that he was from his mother's womb, untimely ripped. At this time, Macbeth learns that the witch's prophecy is about to come true and that he will die at the hands of Macduff. In The Great Gatsby, Jay Gatsby realization is when he understands that Daisy will never ever leave Tom to be with him. Daisy and Gatsby had plans of running away together, but Daisy has never actually been able to confront Tom about it. Gatsby had much pride in their plan, but Daisy never tells Tom of running away with Gatsby. Gatsby's actions bring him down because he was just assumed things would go his way. But in the end, they didn't.
Fate can be defined many different ways. The dictionary defines fate as this power that supposedly predetermines events. Fate is synonymous to the word destiny, which suggests that events are unavoidable and unchangeable. Whatever happens in life is meant to be and cannot be changed by mankind. In Shakespeare's Macbeth, fate plays an important role in the life of Macbeth.
All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis! All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cod!
All hail, Macbeth! Thou shalt be king hereafter.
The witches help fate out by giving Macbeth this information. If Macbeth had never known this, he would never have had the idea of becoming Thane of Cawdor or king. This is the start to Macbeth's road to success and ultimate demise. It was predetermined by fate that Macbeth would believe the witch's words. When Macbeth does, in fact, become Thane of Cawdor, he then believes fully in the witches and is willing to do anything it takes to become king. Willingness to do whatever is necessary to become King of Scotland is also what causes Macbeth to commit so many murders, the first of which is Duncan. In order for Macbeth to be king, the current king must die and his successors must be unavailable for the throne. Fate plays a huge hand in the way Duncan's murder plays out. Duncan's two sons flee so that they will not be suspected of committing their own father's murder. Because they have fled the country, it is Macbeth that is the one who may become king. Fate also plays a role in Macbeth's death. Because the witches were right about Macbeth's life the first time, he believed them a second time, which led to his death. They told him that he should watch out for Macduff, that he could not be harmed by any man who was born of a woman, and that he would reign until Birnam Wood came to Dunsinane Hill. This gave Macbeth a false sense of security and made him think no one could ever hurt him. However, the weird sister's twisted words gave him fate, the chance to cause Macbeth's ruin when an army concealed by the branches of Birnam Wood came to Dunsinane Hill to bring Macbeth down. Also, fate is carried out when Malcolm, warned of Macbeth's evil ways, kills Macbeth. He is the only one who could kill Macbeth because he is not born of a natural birth. F. Scott Fitzgerald also portrays the theme of fate throughout his novel The Great Gatsby. While Gatsby searches for the green light on Daisy's pier, the symbol of love, hope, and money, he struggles between his romantic memories of Daisy and his cynicism toward the world as he realizes that Daisy may need other enticements such as parties and beautiful shirts, and a car with wing-like fenders to rekindle her infatuation with him. But the two elements cannot be resealed. And in the New York hotel room, when Gatsby tries to coerce Daisy to tell her husband that she loves him instead, the love of materialism overcomes Daisy, the king's daughter, the golden girl, whose voice is full of money. So in the end, the character Gatsby proves to be tragic as he seeks the romanticism of the unknown world, picking out the green light at the end of Daisy's dock. Their ends are the results of their choices, tragic choices, as their ideals collide with the illusionary jazz age, on one so-called fate. Aristotle once said, "A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall."
A man doesn't become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.
A man does not become a hero until he can see the root of his downfall.